Greetings. Welcome to day 27 of the 30 Days of Tarot. Today's a little bit of a throwaway. If you're looking for something really deep, goodbye. To be honest, it's the weekend and my husband and I have been working really hard on a lot of things here and around the house. And also he's been so wonderful helping me with my videos so I could do these 30 days for you. And we just said, it's the weekend. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. We did have some fun. So that's what we're going to do today. We're talking about fun and games. And I thought, this is a video that I'm going to be putting up on Tuesday. I have a little bit of a schedule here for my videos because I like to do like a tarot related video once a week for my tarot readers out there. And I apologize right now because some of you might be very offended by what I'm going to do today. I hope not. But I want to give you a little background about it first before you judge me. My family has always played games. Our family has always played games. But I played with my family, of course. When I was a little girl, we played as a family. Saturday night often we would play in the kitchen, on the kitchen table, play cards usually hearts. And my mother would make fudge, and it was a lot of fun. There were my brother and I and my parents, and we had a wonderful time. And of course we played games with friends. And in those days we didn't have video games. We just had card games and board games, and that was a big part of our life. And it just carried over. And when I was in college, I remember the student union in our college where I went to, somebody got into playing hearts. As a matter of fact, it was hearts. And the whole seating area there, the dining area of the student union was all just tables and tables of people playing these crazy hearts, competition. And then again, then my husband and I, we got married, and it's kind of hard to believe, but we moved to Virginia when we were married, and so we honeymooned. We were married in Pennsylvania, and then we were moving to Virginia. My husband was singing in clubs in Washington at the time, so we honeymooned. His father rented a room for us for a honeymoon night in the inn at Williamsburg. Because, I loved Williamsburg, and I wanted to go with him on the way down to where we were going. While we were going there, it wasn't on the way, but I wanted to share that with my husband. So my father-in-law, meanwhile, booked a honeymoon suite in the inn at Williamsburg for us for a honeymoon, which was lovely. It was a huge room. I remember him commenting that the bed was bigger than his bedroom at home. The whole bed was that big. Kind of embarrassing that he said that. But there was no TV. This is Williamsburg. There was no TV in the room or anything like that. And you think, well, who cares? Well, I want to tell you, though, I was only 19 at the time, so I wasn't even allowed in the bar. So the question of going and sitting in the bar and listening to music or something at that time in Virginia was not going to be allowed. So we didn't have it in the evening. We didn't have a lot of options, and we didn't have a lot of money, because I told you my husband was a singer. He worked as a singer at a nightclub around Washington, D.C. He was a musician. He did not have money. So we really didn't have much to do without a TV. So I remember him calling down and asking room service if they could send up a deck of cards to the honeymoon suite, and they thought that was kind of funny. But we played, and as newlyweds, we didn't have a lot of money. Afterwards, we spent a lot of time playing. We played cards a lot. We played with our friends, but we also played cribbage. We played cribbage together all the time. So it's been in our family. Our children, we played with our children, and we raised them playing games, and they have married men, all of them, who love games. Now, of course, a lot of them they like different kind of games, role-playing games or video games, of course. But we still like a lot of board games and a lot of card games, and we play them all the time. We get together and play them on a family day. And I remember we all went on a trip to Pennsylvania. All of us went back. Well, my youngest daughter wasn't married yet. She was still a teenager. But we went back to visit my parents for Christmas in Pennsylvania. And we thought we would, play a game that we played all the time when we got together. It was Rummy, where the way you play it, you're not supposed to get any points. The idea is if one person goes out, then if you're caught with points in your hands, that's not a good thing. Well, my son-in-law, one particular son-in-law is so competitive, and he really takes it seriously, and the rest of us we're having fun. But he was a little distracted, being in my parents' house and things like that. And I remember we played, I don't know how many hands, every round of the game changes the rules. Not the rules, but what you need to have. Like you might need to have, I don't know, three sets of three or more of the same kind, like 3 threes or 3 twos, and maybe 1 run, 4-card run or something. Every level as you advance in the game asks for different combination of cards for you to go out with. And so it's really kind of hard. You have to concentrate on what you're keeping and what you're passing and stuff. So I guess everybody was kind of trying to be intent with that. Plus we were all crazy. We had been out playing earlier, running around and doing some fun things. And of course we were in my parents' house. There were it was the holidays, a lot of sugar and a lot of alcohol, I'll say, wine, a lot of wine drinking. And just, crazy fooling around. And I don't know how many hands we had played in that thing. And everybody was getting so many points. So many points. Like, why do we have so many points? How can this even be that we had so many points? It was unbelievable how many points we were all, racking up. And finally, after about the third hand, my son-in-law said, "Wait a minute. What kind of cards are these?" He says. He says, "Are these pinochle cards?" And my father's in the background listening to us play. He was watching TV in the chair in the room. "Well, of course they're pinochle cards. What do you expect them to be?" And I should have known better because my parents had a card club with the neighbors for 50 years. They played pinochle once a month, every month, for 50 years with the same group of people. There were 8 of them, or 10. No, 12. There were 12, there were 6 couples. No. 2, 4, 6, yes, they played. There was 12 of them. They played 3 tables. My mother would set up the tables. When it was her turn to host, they took turns. And she would set up the little bridge tables with a little bridge cloth on there. And they would play 2 couples per table, 4 people per table. Keep score, rotate the tables, and then they would stop for like a lunch, and they had it in the middle of the night, which was my favorite thing because it was all these wonderful snack things that she never made for us. And there were prizes, and they took it quite seriously, but they played loyally for 50 years, which was amazing. And they played pinochle. So I knew they had both kinds of cards, but it had slipped my mind. I hadn't even thought of pinochle for so many years. Being here in California, away from their pinochle card club, that we just still laugh about that, how funny that was. So we played. It took us 3 hands to realize that why we had so many face cards in our hand. Like, what in the heck? Anyway, even in the SCA, this is where I'm coming to today. Even in the SCA, we, for quite a few years, spent a weekend every winter. We had something called Winter Weekend. Local group went up to the Angeles Forest up in the mountains, into a camp, that we rented for the weekend, long weekend. It was a long weekend, and we pretty much spent the weekend in garb, of course, garbed out and doing period activities. There was a lot of, outside activities, and there was inside activities as well. But there was a lot of hanging out in the lodge all day, working on, all the tables there were full of looms and knob bending and glass making and pewtering and all kinds of art things. People, what projects they were working on, sewing, whatever they were working on, visiting with everybody, and everybody, you could just walk around in there and visit other people at their table, and they'd show you what they were doing. You could learn how to do different things, and you could get a hand up on your projects, because we all had to do our own sewing or have something to do it for. So we always had something to do. Make your shoes. My husband would take our shoes. He made all of our shoes, and he would be retreading this, putting new soles on the bottoms of shoes. Those kind of things. And we were either doing that, or we were eating, or we were playing games. We played a lot of games. There were games going on at every table. Every table had some kind of, in the evening particularly, in the afternoon and evening, after their eyes gave out from working on stuff in the morning and in the early afternoon, usually in the afternoon and evening, everybody started on games. And there was a game, you could go to any table and get in on a game of some kind. Many were period games and many were not, but they were all games, and it was so much fun. And I had a friend there who was always bringing crazy games. Every year he would bring some more crazy games. Excuse me. And one year he brought a game called Flux, or a couple different variations of Flux. It turns out there's something like 20 variations of this game. It's a card game, but it is a crazy card game. My husband hated it. Where it changes rules every time. There's all these cards, and when you play a card, all the rules change. The whole game changes. It drove us about nuts. We had so many jokes about that game. And also about the same time, another friend had been working on a project, for an arts project for a competition, where she was researching period games, and she had acquired a deck of tarot cards that were dated to period. They were replicas of cards dated to the medieval period. And there were games that were played with these cards. And this was my first real experience with this kind of card game, because apparently, it's true, and I've done some research on it myself, tarot cards were not originally produced for divination or for cardmancy. They were produced for games. They were made for games. People were really into games, a lot of different kind of games. And some of the cards they had 50-some cards rather than the 78 that is now. For a while, for a very long period of time, excuse me, until about the 18th century, I believe, is when they first started being used for divination of any kind, or cartomancy. It wasn't really divination. It was more like they played games with them. It's still games, but now the games took a little twist, and they became something like he loves me not kind of forecasts, okay? Anyway, the point of that is, during this time, around then, the Tarot de Marseille was a type of deck that started out with the 78 cards, rather than the 55 cards or whatever the other ones were, modeled after. But still, that was meant to be played, games meant to be played with for games, not used for divination purposes. That did not happen until, like I said, 18th century. It started. So during the medieval period, never. But there were cards very much like these, very much modeled like these at the end of the medieval period. And I got a kick out of that, and I think I got these cards originally to play games with. I don't know. I'm wondering if that's why I got these, because I'm really wondering. I don't play cards. I do not play games with my tarot cards. I do them. I read with them. But if you know me from this channel, you know I don't read Marseille style. I just don't. I like the illustrations. I like my pips to be illustrated. I can read with this because I do understand numerology and things, and I do. And I know a lot of people appreciate the beauty. They're beautiful. They think they're beautiful cards. And I know somebody I admire and love very, very much. I don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't think I'm hurting his feelings because I don't think he watches me, but I watch him a lot. Is Simon and Herman's Cave, and he loves the Marseille decks. He loves his Marseille decks, and I just can't get into it. I'm sorry, I just can't get into it. I don't know, I can't. So I thought, I have it. It made me think today. Joe, do you want to have some fun? I said, do you want to have some fun with me? So I kind of devised a game, just the shell of a game, kind of in the same spirit of Flex, but not Flex, because I don't even know how to play that game. That we're going to use the tarot cards, and we're going to use it so that the object of a game, we're going to play card games that are suitable for two people. I made a list of some really simple cards that are suitable for two people. And let me see if I have a couple notes here. Because I was scribbling on these notes earlier. But after he said he would play with me, I said, oh, good. I got an idea. I said, he's always sorry when he agrees to do things. But I found 6 card games, 6 really simple card games that anybody can play. So anybody knows the rules easily. You don't have to learn those rules already. We already know them. And I'm trying to incorporate them into one game. And 3 of those games are games, happen to be games, that in order to win, you must win the cards. You must end up with probably all the cards. And that is Go Fish, War, and Slapjack. Okay, those 3 games we both know how to play. We don't have to worry about the rules, and you need to win them. Then I found 3 games, simple games that we know how to play, or the object of the game is to get rid of your cards. Be the first one to get rid of your cards. And that is Uno, also like a Crazy Eights. But Uno is a little different than Crazy Eights because Uno has some other cards added to it that make it more fun. And it's not usually for 2 people. It's not usually very fun for 2 people, but for our purposes, it'll work really well for 2 people. Old Maid, of course, and I Doubt It. So those 3 cards, you need to eliminate cards. So I thought I made a list of all the cards, the kind of cards in the tarot deck. And I just put like rules. What happens when you see this card? Sometimes it just gives you an object. It just sets you in the way of a game. Like for instance, when a jack comes up, Slapjack is played. Okay. When a queen comes up, Old Maid is played. When a king comes up, War is played. Okay. When a knight comes up, I Doubt It is played. We begin in the style of Uno, or Crazy Eights, if you want to call it, and so we're beginning in the mode where we want to eliminate cards. But as soon as something else happens, you could imagine where all of a sudden you need to accumulate cards. It's going to make a big difference in the game. Now you might say this could go on and on forever. How do you ever win? Well, we've never played it before, so we're not sure. But what we think is if you are in a mode where you must eliminate cards, like if you are in the mode of I Doubt It or Uno, and you happen to get rid of all your cards, you would win. Or if you were in a mode of playing at the time that you needed to win a lot of cards, and you were in perhaps war, and you won everybody's cards, you would win the game, and the game would be over. The trick is you're using cards that change all the time, and when you get the trump cards, the 22 trump cards of the Major Arcana involved, all kinds of things happen. Okay, and I have a rule for each one of those things. Okay, for instance, sometimes, like for instance, when the Hangman comes up, the Hangman, and I also thought, I want to point out one more thing about this game, is I thought this is a good way for Joe to become a little more acquainted with some of the meanings behind the Major Arcana, because he is very curious. He watches me all the time read, and of course I've read for him, but he knows how every day he sees what cards I pull for the day, and he is very interested. But I thought, just for fun, we're going to make it funny. And try to take some of the mystery out of some of these cards for him. And I just thought it would be a fun thing to do. But anyway, like for instance, when the Hangman comes up, one of the ways of reading the Hangman in my practice is it's looking at things from a different perspective, So in that case, a good rule for that card would be to switch cards. Switch hands with the other player. You've been developing a strategy with your hand, and he's been developing a strategy with his hand. But if Emily plays the Hangman, you'd have to switch. And you say, well, when would you have to switch? There are many times, number one, that you have to play a trump card if you have one. And then, of course, like other games, for honor system here, that you do have to play. If you can play a card in your hand, you have to play it without drawing. You can't draw unless you're told to draw. If you're just playing whatever game it is, you have to play if you can with the cards you have in your hand. And the other thing is, of course, there's some rules involved in some of my rules because I made them up. On the Hangman card, it can play also on any 10 or 2, which might show up like a Uno or anything like that. Anytime you see a 10 or 2. And also, if you pick a trump card when you were, and when you have to pick up a card because you can't play, if it is a trump card, you have to play it right away. Okay. So you can see this game is going to go crazy. I don't know. It's either going to be a lot of fun or it's going to be really stupid. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to bet the camera on while we're playing. And if anything is worthwhile sharing with you, I will. And then, but whatever, I will come back afterwards and tell you how it played. Okay. But before we go, nothing could be funner games. Nothing can be the weekend. We can't play any kind of a game in our family unless we have a little snack and we have something to drink. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to get our snacks and I'm going to prepare 2 little cocktails because I have an idea for 2. It's not really my idea, but I've got 2 little cocktails that we're going to try out. Very seasonal, very good, very appropriate for this time of the year. Very easy to make. So why don't you stay tuned and I will get my stuff and I will make those cocktails. And then we're going to play the game. And let's see what happens. I have the snacks ready for a game. I've got some pretzels, spiderweb pretzels, bat pretzels. How creepy. Some candy corn. This is an autumn mix candy corn, indigenous people corn, and pumpkins. Don't know if we want that with our cocktails, but we'll see. If we get really hungry, that maybe will help. Who knows how long this is going to go on, this game. Okay? So, I'm going to make 2 cocktails, and we're going to make 2 cocktails. Joe is here with me because he's getting ready to play.
Hi.
He needs his courage. I'm going to make 2 cocktails with, guess what I'm going to use? Trader Joe's spicy spice cider. This is the best stuff in the world. And I didn't realize, but it used to be just seasonal. I'm just drying it off because it was in the refrigerator, so it's kind of wet. But I did not realize this is there all the time, he says. It used to just come out in the fall. It was the only time we could get it.
Everybody
And
loves
we
it.
used to wait and wait, and I used to make him buy like 30 bottles of it. But anyway, it has a lot. I have to shake it because all the spices have gone to the bottom. I guess it's like, oh my gosh, is it like pumpkin spice inside?
Probably.
Guess what's in it?
Wouldn't be surprised.
Allspice, cinnamon, and cloves. Those are among the spices. Yes, it is like pumpkin spice. Okay, so we're gonna start out really basic. Apple cider, the whole idea is apple cider cocktails. Really basic. I've got a rocks glass. This is probably my choice. I'm kind of basic. Okay. First ingredient, bourbon. Now this is not bourbon that we normally mix. This is a really good drinking bourbon. But let's be honest, How often do we mix bourbon? How often?
Not very often.
Not very often. We usually just drink the bourbon. So I'm not going to buy bourbon just for cocktails because that's not my thing normally. But gonna put a little bourbon in the glass. Whoops. Whoops. And I'm gonna top it off with Trader Joe's spiced cider. And I don't know what kind of a name this would have, but I think it's really simple. About as simple as you can get for a cocktail. So I would call that a KISS cocktail. Keep it simple, sweetheart. Apple cider, spiced apple cider, and bourbon. I would call this an apple cider kiss.
Yes.
Let me see what it tastes like. I don't hate it. You want to taste? Bourbon seems to go really well with apples. We know that from the Tipsy Betty.
Oh yeah, baby.
Do you like that?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
now, my friend Therese, who I mentioned before, who makes the really cute mugs from Society 6, did I tell you about that? She likes her cocktails a little bit more involved. So I'm going to make one for her. She's not here to drink it. So I'm going to see if we can drink it. One of us will drink it. And this is going to be called, and this is commonly used. This is not so uncommon. I have it right here. I would call, because this has the inclusion, it's the same thing, but we're going to include ginger beer. Ginger beer, lovely. It's not beer. It's not alcoholic at all. It's just a lovely, like a ginger ale, but ginger beer is a little spicier, a little hotter. So I would call this an apple cider hot kiss. Hot kiss.
Say it out loud.
Apple cider hot kiss. Okay, it's a twist off. Do you want to twist that off for me? So it's going to start the same way. A little bit of bourbon in the glass. We won't go too crazy. A little bit of, well, let's put the apple cider in first and top it off with the fizz, don't you think? Gonna leave some room at the top for the apple cider. I mean for the ginger beer. And then we're gonna top it off with the ginger beer. Oh, I'll tell you, that bourbon smells really good. A little bit of fizz on top. Well, I can't think that's bad. I don't think we're gonna hate that at all. Again, I would call this an apple cider hot kiss. I don't know what else. I'll taste it. I don't hate that. You want to taste it? What do you think of that?
I don't hate that at all.
Which one do you hate less? Which
Huh?
one do you like more? Which one do you like more?
This one.
Okay, that'll be yours. This will be mine.
Okay.
Okay, here's the snacks. Let's get this stuff out of the way and let's play whatever our game
Whatever
is.
it is, yeah.
We don't know what it is. It has no name. We'll name it after we're done, dependent on if we like it or not. We'll name it. I forgot the last thing because I'm not good at cocktails. I gotta put some lemon in his hot kiss. So I took it back. Just a little twist of lemon. I bet you'll really like this because you like puckering.
Yep.
You like a pucker.
I do.
Here we go. We'll just stick that in there. Now tell me.
That's perfect.
It's perfect, he says.
I like it.
Good. Okay. Okay. Now we're ready to play. We'll be back. We're gonna start out like we're gonna play Uno, okay? So we each get 7 cards. And if you get an idea about what you think should happen, and then we start out. And what is that? That's a 10. Oh, right away.
10 of Swords.
Right away, what happens every time we lay a 10? You must play a trump. So you start and you must play a trump.
The trump is Major Arcana card.
Major Arcana card. So look and see if you have a Major Arcana card. You have to play a wild card, and that's the only one you have. So you can either call a new game or you can leave it because it's a wild card as Uno, whatever.
I'll
you
leave
want.
it as Uno.
Okay.
I like that.
But now you need to call a suit. Pentacles, cups, swords, or wands. Wands.
Wands. Okay, I call wands.
Okay, calls wands. So I have to play a wand, or I have to pick up to play a wand. Did I shuffle these? What a terrible shuffler.
Don't say that. You're a tarot reader.
Really? Okay, so I have to play, or I can play, if I don't have a wand, I can play a trump card. I can trump your trump. So let me see what I can trump. So this would be, see, these cards are hard for me because I hate the illustrations on these cards. So I can trump it with this, or this, or this. I'm calling, let's see, I'm going to call,
11.
I'm going to call
11.
slapjack. I'm going to call slapjack. Okay. So you have to put the
Jack
first
is
person.
a knight.
A jack is a knave.
Knave.
So if you don't have a knave in your hand, you have to draw to get a knave. You just have you draw, and if I now you play one, you play a card.
Play
You
one.
put a card down, just any card.
How did I know there was a knave? That's a lot of cards.
No, you gotta pick.
I know.
These you take in your hand.
I'm picking Uno because I understand it. Okay.
Okay, you pick it. So I have to play Uno first.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to call the color. What color?
Yeah, I have
I
to
mean,
call
what
a
what suit?
Swords.
I don't have any swords, but I can play a trump. And I have to play a trump if I can play them. What a terrible game. So I have to play the wheel, or I have to play. And there's justice. So I have justice, the empress. Oh, the empress. The empress is good.
Yeah.
Cancels any car. Calls the game. I cancel you. And I'm going to call Old Maid.
Regrettably.
So you have to pick me, and if you get a match, you have to put it down. You just put it down the bow.
I pick from your hand. And it matches something in here, and I put them down.
If it doesn't match, you just hold it. No, that has to be how many, number is that?
6.
Okay, do you have any 6 of anything in your hand?
No.
Okay, you have to hold it. My turn to pick. Chevalier? No. Where can you go? Is this going to play Old Maid? Okay. You pick for me.
I pick.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Except you picked a trump, so you get to play.
Ah. How'd you know what it was?
Because I can see you pick it out of my hand. So you can play the trump.
Okay.
What's the trump card? You have to play it.
It's justice.
Justice is, it's a wild card. You call the suit.
It's an 8.
Okay. So it's a,
What's that mean?
that doesn't mean anything. Does it?
Aces and 8s.
Oh, take a drink. Everybody
Aces
take a
and
drink.
8s.
Take a drink.
Cheers.
Cheers. You always split aces and 8s in blackjack, so every time we see an ace or an 8, we're going to take a drink.
Okay, so I played an 8. Justice, what
You
is it?
call the game, what you want it to be. It's a wild card. So you call the suit. No, you just call the suit.
Oh, okay.
You call the suit, like,
All right.
so it's back to Uno, calls the suit, and then,
Okay.
but also the opponent has to pick up or lose 4 cards.
I think
that-
is it your choice?
Well, no, because we're in Uno, we're back to Uno, so I have to pick up.
Okay.
So you tell me, and I have to pick up
I call the
before I
suit
play. Yeah,
Pentacles.
and I have Pentacles, but I can't play it without picking up 4.
You
So I
gotta
have
pick
to
up 4
go
first,
1,
and you can play.
2, 3, 4. Did I pick up a? I picked up a trump card, so I have to play it.
I don't remember that in the
Anytime
international
you play,
rules.
look, all trump cards play immediately when drawn.
Oh, well, see, there I am.
Okay, so this is the Emperor. The Emperor says, the person who draws, I ask the opponent, give me all your wild cards, because I played the Emperor. Give me all your wild
What are
cards.
wild cards?
And all your trumps. Give them to me.
What are wild cards?
Trumps.
Did I have
For some reason, this is leaving a really bad taste in my mouth for trump cards to be, like, powerful. Oh, I'll cut that out.
I,
Do you have any trump
what,
cards?
Knight, knave, queens? Nope. Are those trump?
Mm-hmm.
The knight, the knave, and the queen. They're all trump.
No, none of them are trump.
None of them are trump. That's what I thought. I don't
Okay.
have any trump.
So I call, no, did I call that or did you? I called him.
You call it.
Oh, for all the wild cards, and you can't give me any?
Nope.
Well, that sucks. So, and that means what happens to me? Nothing. Do you have any 4s?
How fortuitous.
Do you have any 4s? Because it's a 4.
No. No fours.
Then you should go fish. Go fish. Just go. I don't know why, but you should go fish and you get a 4.
Until
Pick
I
it
get a
up.
4.
Or a trump.
This is not going to go well. What are you? I don't know what the hell that is.
Does it have a 4 or something on 4 things?
I don't think so.
No, that's an ace. Oh, maybe you're not playing it yet, but when you take an
I
ace, you
didn't
gotta
play it.
drink.
I know. Ha!
You got a 4?
I got a 4.
Or a trump?
4 of pentacles.
4 of pentacles, so it's pentacles. Okay, so I can play. Oh, good. Finally, I can play. I play. Now your turn. You have to play another pentacle or a 9. Uh-oh.
10.
10. What happens with 10?
Uh-oh.
Something
Should have thought
happens.
about that. Must play.
Oh, I have to play a trump.
You have to play a
Shit.
trump.
I have 1 trump only. Oh, man. Okay, it's the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, it's a 10. Do we drink now? What happens on a 10? No.
No, Wheel of Fortune down here.
Well, Wheel of Fortune down here.
But we
It's a
we'll
turning
drink
point.
anyway.
Oh, shit, we have to switch hands. Give me a drink.
Oh my God.
Oh, no. Okay.
Well, your hand's shitty. I don't want this.
That's your turn.
And what am I doing?
You have to play, what are we in? Pentacles.
Pentacles.
Yeah.
Keep going in pentacles.
Yeah,
Okay.
because this did not change the suit. It just changed our hands.
Ace.
Ace! What
Drink.
happens? Drink. Oh, we drink. Uh-oh. Joe, this is not good.
Why?
We have to shuffle all the discards,
What?
deal them out,
Uh-oh.
and then we draw 1 to begin anew.
No.
So we start again. I gotta shovel these.
What kind of raucous game is this?
This is the stupidest game. You know what? Our friend who makes us play that flex game, he would make sense of this and win.
She just said flux, by the way, just to clarify. That flux game.
Okay, don't pick them up yet.
Just
These are-
so you know.
I'm dividing. These have to go in your hand. Oh, Jesus.
That's not good to say it.
Oh, sorry. Shucks. This is going to be a big hand. And this is the card we start on.
Right.
And it's still pentacles. Here we go. Add those to your hand.
All that and we're still in pentacles.
Yeah. You played the ace of to me,
God,
right?
I have a lot of cards.
You played the ace of
I
to
did.
me.
I did.
Okay, I have to play a pentacle.
This is a lot of cards.
Oh, they're so hard to tell where they are because these cards are
I
so
know,
stupid.
none of them make any sense to me. And these goofy looking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a 9 of pentacles, so I can play that. So you need a 9 or a pentacle.
All right, give me a minute.
You know, our son-in-law Will might get a kick out of this game.
Actually, it's right up here is Weird Alley. Yes.
Yeah, he would win. He would win. He doesn't even know anything about any of them. He would win.
I hope he doesn't watch this video now that I said that.
He won't. He won't want
Okay. So I'm looking to play any pentacle.
to. Or any 9. Or if you don't have either, you can play a trump. But if you have these, you should play these and not play the trump until
Four of
okay,
pentacles.
4 pentacles. So I need a 4 or a pentacle. What are my options? 4 or a pentacle. Here. 6 or a pentacle.
Okay. Oh, here
Now,
we go.
just to keep this straight, we have to play, if we draw a trump, we have to play it immediately. But if we have one in our hand, if we can play something else, we don't have to play the trump.
All right. 2.
2 of pentacles. Nothing happens. So 2 or pentacles. 2 or pentacles. Somehow that made sense.
Yes.
What's that? I don't even know. I'm putting it down. I think it's a 2. A 2 of curly things.
Swords.
Those aren't swords.
Swords,
Oh,
yes, they are.
They don't look like swords. Where's the blade?
This end is the blade. That's the hilt.
Well, it's not very stabby. I think we
I
need to
have
be over
them
here where
too.
people can see better. We're not being very good.
Okay.
Okay.
What do we got? 2 of swords.
2 of swords.
So I need a 2,
2
or
or
a
a
sword.
sword. And if you do
So
not have
I
a
will
2
play-
or a sword, you may play a trump.
5 of swords.
5 of swords. So 5 or a sword. Are you sure those are swords?
Yes. We went through this earlier today.
It's so hard.
The thing about this
Oh,
game is it gets harder the longer you play.
I have to say Simon is. I gotta
That's the
admire
way
him
drinking
for figuring
games
this
are.
out. Okay, what is that? A 10. A 10. What happens?
10 of
We
swords.
must play. You must play a trump. You must play a trump.
I must play a trump. And remind me again, what is a trump?
It's a major arcana card, but not a face, not a. It's not a court card. It's a major arcana.
These are court cards.
Yes. No, you have to play one of these.
Okay.
Do you want me to show you the list?
Oh, I get it. Okay.
I love the way something I just scribbled down a couple hours ago is actually the rules.
It's law. It's international rules now.
I don't know.
Aha!
What'd you get?
Well, I have some. Let me keep one. What does that give me? What do I do? How can I embarrass you if I throw this card?
This is not strip tarot. De Marseille. This is, I don't know, we had to think of a name for this game. I don't know what it's going to be. Could be kind of something. I think it might be the game that never ends.
Could
The
be.
never-ending tarot game.
Could be. I'm really not trying to keep the game at a standstill, so let's just play this. We'll play the fool.
And what happens to the fool? Uh-oh.
The opponent, that'd be you,
I call the game.
calls the game. So you get to call the game now.
I call the game. Okay, I call. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna call. I doubt it.
Okay.
You have to start
Why? You called the game.
because I called the game. Because it's your turn. I called.
Okay.
Oh no, I called. So I'll start.
Okay.
Well, that might have been a stupid thing to
That
call.
seems reasonable.
Because I have to start with 1. Okay.
I have to remember how to play it.
I'll put it here. 2 aces. If you think that's really two aces, you let me put them down. If you doubt it, you say I doubt it, and then we look.
And then what happens next?
Then
Me?
then
Then
you
I
s-
put something in?
yeah, you have to put twos down. They have to be twos.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And don't give away if you don't have any.
Oh, okay. I get it.
You remember?
You kind of get.
Okay.
1, 2.
Put it on top of here.
Oh.
I
Guess
doubt
don't.
it. I
Guess I
doubt
don't
it.
remember.
I doubt it.
Oh. You're so undoubting.
That's not a two, so you have to pick those up.
So now we get them all.
You get them all. And what happens?
Boy, you lied.
What happens now?
You lied.
I did not lie. Those are both
Oh,
twos.
those are both ones. You had ones.
Oh,
Never mind, you didn't lie.
You hurt my feelings.
No, I'm sorry.
So what happens now, Joe?
I don't know. We go to threes?
It's my turn. And it's supposed to be three, but instead of that, I don't understand that part of the game. So
So
I'm
here it
good.
comes.
I hope I have a core card.
Here comes a court card.
Because if I don't have any threes, I could play a core card. Well, I could do it anyway. Justice. What is justice?
Wild card, call suit.
Okay.
Opponent picks up and loses 4.
Or gives four.
It says loses 4. whatever
Picks
that
up or
means.
loses four. We're trying to get cards
Ah.
or not. So if we're in Uno, you're trying to lose four, so you
Yeah,
have to
we're
pick
trying
up
to get-
four. So you have to pick up four. So
How the hell did that work?
because you don't want four, so when we're going, I'm making you do something. Justice, I'm calling,
So I'll take 4.
and I'm going
I'm
to
gonna
call it, and I'm
pro-
going to call this as cups. And I'm going to play 4 cups. No, you have to play because you're the cup. I call cups. You have to play a cup. You have to play a cup if you have a cup, or you have to play a. Or you have to play a
Wild card.
wild card.
And again, wild cards are
The trump
anything
cards.
here.
Yes, 0 to 20.
All right.
Okay, me, you, me, you. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to hold all these cards. Because remember, Uno, unless we change the game. Okay, that one goes in the middle. That's extra. And it's to me, and it's what?
5 of swords.
How do you know that's 5?
5.
Oh, there's a 5 on it. That's stupid. Oh, so all these plus all these. Oh, man.
Oh man.
That's a lot of cards.
You're kidding.
Okay, I gotta play a sword. What's that? 7 of swords.
Wait, I just finally figured out how to sort my hand. Holy crap. There is a way to do it.
Oh, just play.
Hey, just a second. You must be organized.
I know you're gonna try to use strategy now. Any moment, I know how you are.
It's not liable to work, so.
Did you ever notice how ugly
Sorry.
the devil card? Not that I have it in my hand, but
Not that you have it in your hand.
did you ever notice how ugly the devil card is in this?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's
I
creepy.
just played it a couple rounds ago.
It's creepy ugly.
Okay, where are we now?
You're a CEO 7 of swords.
7 of swords in Uno.
Yeah. Oh, let's keep these over where people can see them. Gotta keep them over. Like anybody's still with us.
Yeah. Hello. Wake up. Wake up.
I don't know.
So that means I have to
You
play
have to play
a wild card.
you have to play a trump if you have it.
A trump.
I hate calling it that.
A trump is this.
Yes. You ask me that every time.
I know. Wait till we have a few more drinks, then we'll see. And I won't remember my name.
We've only had a half of a drink.
I know, it's just.
And yours is mostly
thrill.
apples
It's
and
the
ginger
thrill
beer.
of
You just
playing
have
the
a little
game.
touch of bourbon in there.
I say it's the thrill of the game.
Look at this. I can't even hold on my cards. I have so many cards. I'll just flash them to the audience. I have so many.
Well, this one won't cost anything, so.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, this looks
The only
interesting.
thing that could be more fun was if Or if you
We're
moves here.
playing the world.
Okay, what happens in the
It
world?
says world equals fulfillment.
Okay.
Discard or lay down any pairs. Both players.
Oh, good. Oh, any pairs.
See what I did for you.
Okay. So that would not be any. There can't be a big card. I mean, it cannot be a trump card. It has to be something
No.
else. So any of these. Okay, these are pairs.
Right.
These are pairs. So that's by number, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a good choice. Here we have this one. And this one. Those are pairs.
Pair. Those don't count.
Okay. Oh wait, I want to put the things that don't count. They does not count. These are my pairs.
So I have okay.
Does
so I
not
have-
count.
so I
Does
have
not
one
count.
pair.
Does not count.
What is this? Does
Does
not
not, because they're trump cards. Well,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not going to tell you because
You're
you'll
just
never
going by
know.
number cards, right? For the,
Numbers, or you can have two kings or two queens.
yeah, minor arcana cards.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh, two kings or two queens?
Or knaves or you know.
Oh.
Any number. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Out. That's one there. Do I have?
Here's a 4. And those are 4s.
Ah, two knights.
I like this one. I've got Roy. There's a 5 and 1. 3.
Okay.
I got 2 3s. Okay. Oh, look at me. I'm getting better. Oh, but I still have all those to pick up. Monday.
Okay, what are we doing
Easy.
now? Now
They go in that pile.
all these pairs go on this pile.
Yes.
Do we need to verify?
Well, we can when we put them on.
We don't.
Swords. We don't have to. Trust ourselves.
Yep.
Okay.
Pair of knights. And pair of nines.
Okay. And I have a pair of aces, and a pair of chevaliers, and a pair of 4s, and a pair of 3s.
Right, do we drink for the aces?
No. No.
You played them.
And so, whose turn was that? Yours.
Right.
So, I'll just play on that card.
Yeah.
Or I could pull another card. Do you want me to pull another card over?
Play on, well. Wow.
You can make up a rule. What do you think?
Play on the one that's on top.
Okay.
3 of pentacles.
So I have a Valet de Deniers. Knave. What happens in a knave? Something happens. Look at the book.
Oh, because he's pentacles?
I doubt it. We start, I doubt it. Okay.
Okay.
So it goes to you and you start with aces. Put them to the side.
In any suits, right?
Yeah, any kind of an
Okay.
ace.
Right. 1 ace.
I doubt it.
No shit.
Let me see. Okay, that means you have to take it back. You can put it down.
Okay.
Okay, so 10 is what? You must play a trump. I don't know.
And if you recall a couple rounds ago, I gave you all my trump.
I know.
So now what?
You have to pick until you get a trump.
Oh, you made that up. Aha! Hanged man. What's that mean? What?
Get a different perspective. Switch hands.
You made that up.
No, I'm trying to know the laws.
Look at this. Look at this.
And
Look
we're
what I
still
got.
in.
Look what I got. Look what I
Okay, but
got.
we're still
Look, I'm
in-
so happy. Look what I got.
What is this swords? We're still in swords.
Oh
so
no, we're
close.
not doing that.
We're so close. I'm so close to victory. I can taste it.
What this means plays on 10 or 5.
It can play on a 10 or a 5. You can play that anytime on a 10 or a 5.
You play it anytime anyway?
You can.
No,
No, not if you have a pentacle.
I don't.
Then you have to put.
Devil.
What happens to that?
Devil says, take a drink,
Take a
plays on 10 and 5.
drink. Okay, so we're still pentacles. So that's me. 5 for pentacle.
You got nothing? Well, I don't have to pick. I have to play a...
You have to play a wild card.
What am I picking?
I don't know.
Putting them back.
Well, how many did you pick? You can
2.
Okay.
Ah.
Since it feels like
Let's appropriately play the fool, because that's what I do.
What happened?
You call the game.
I call the game. Okay. What am I asking for?
You get to pick a game.
I will pick. I doubt it.
All right?
Ready? I'm first.
Yep.
1 ace.
I doubt it.
Well, you dumbass! Of course I had an ace, or I wouldn't have picked it. 'Cause
I know.
don't you have to take all these?
No. No. Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
We're appealing. This whole game is being played under protest. Just saying. Okay, so now what happens?
You have to play a 2. If you can't play a 2, you can play. If you don't have any
to play a
2s, you
wild
can
card.
play a trump. But if you don't have a 2 or a trump, you have to draw till you get a
I'm not
2.
doing that.
Do you hear that?
Yes. Let's see. Let me see. Where the hell are you? Oh, there you are. Well, I guess I'll do that one.
What?
The world.
What happens?
Lay down any pairs. Both players. If you have any pairs, you can put them
I
down.
don't have any pairs. So you can put them on here.
And then that was my...
Do you have any pairs?
Nope.
Oh, I see.
Seemed harmless.
So we're still in what?
Pentacles.
Pentacles. I don't have any pentacles, but I do have the Pope card, which means the Hierophant.
There you go. Worthless wild card. Play anytime.
Yeah, he's just
It did nothing.
He did nothing. So it's
So
still,
we're still in pentacles.
so it's still pentacles to you.
All right.
I'm so hopeful that maybe I'll win and this torture will be over.
We'll play the High Priestess,
Which is what?
which says it's a mystery. Opponent picks next card for you. So you pick for me. I played that, so you're the opponent, so you get to pick.
No, I get to pick one of these for you.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that.
Well, why would I pick from there? You could
Mhm.
pick from there yourself.
Yeah.
So which would I give you?
I don't know. That might turn out to have not been a smart move on my part.
Uno.
Why? I noticed that.
Please let me win. Please let me win. Please let me win. Oh,
Okay,
no.
so- And what are we? Pentacles?
Pentacles.
I still got none of those.
Do you have a trump card?
We're not playing that.
If you have a trump, you have to play a trump.
Oh.
No, except if it's a bad one, you can't play. No,
Trust me, the choices that I have.
no, be nice. Be nice.
I'll play that.
What's that?
Cancels any card
Oh,
and calls the game.
what's the game?
Uno.
Well, what am I playing on?
We're still in Pentacles, I
Oh, we're
guess.
still in Pentacles. Oh no.
I tried.
Pentacles? Shh. shit. Oh, what's that? A trump card. What happens here?
What is it?
The sun.
The sun cancels any trump card.
I just canceled your trump
Canceled
card.
this one, and that one said cancels any card and calls the game. So
So we get out of your card. We're getting out of your game, so I'm calling my own game.
yeah,
No, why?
I would interpret it that way.
What was like? What were we in?
Yeah, Uno, because you called Uno
What was
with
the
one card.
suit?
Pentacles.
I like yours better. We'll go Pentacles. But I don't have any. I'll pick.
Oh wait.
Oh wait, I got another card. I got the sun. No, the stars. What's the stars?
Oh, generosity.
Look at her stupid boobs.
Oh,
She's got the. Oh, look how ugly she is. Who would ever think she was pretty? I'm going to show it to the camera. Anybody? Nobody. Do you think that's pretty?
what is it? It's what?
The
The
stars.
stars.
Interestingly,
Generosity. Give or receive 2 cards from other player. Uh-oh.
I won! I won!
Walked right into that one.
one. Oh, how did that even happen?
I actually have no idea how that happened.
Okay, shut the camera and we'll name this game.
Name this game.
Shut the game.
I got 3 or 4 good choices of names.
That was pretty fun. I thought that was fun. What did you think? Did you think it was fun?
Surprisingly, I thought it was great fun.
I think excuse me. I think I had as much difficulty, if not more, deciphering what these pictures were.
No.
I really have a hang up about this tarot deck. I just can't
Yeah.
get past the pips. Yeah, Simon, if you're watching, I know you're not watching, but oh, they're beautiful. I don't think they're. But the
I'll
swords.
tell you, they make it a real challenge trying to sort the cards in your hand.
Yeah, where are the
me tell you.
swords on the swords card?
Yeah.
Does this look like a sword to anybody?
Well, it has a hilt on the end of it.
It has a hilt, but it doesn't have a blade. Where's the blade?
In your imagination, like this.
I want a blade. I want a blade. Plus, I have to say, could they have found
They
any?
do all have this down the middle. They have a sword down
Oh, that's the clue.
there. Yeah.
Then okay.
They have a sword right there.
Unless you're a liar and saying that because you're a liar, because does that one have a sword down the
Oh,
middle?
I guess I lied. Never mind. Jury will strike the last
Yeah.
remark.
And this doesn't look like a cup to me because every time I picked it up, upside down. So
Yeah,
what was
right.
that? A clown's horn from the front of his bicycle? I didn't know what that was. Anyway, I had trouble with the images, but that was a fun game. We did good.
Yeah, we
we were
did.
adaptable, and not just because I was the champion winner, best player of the game.
And also in charge of the rules. But
Also-
I'm not trying to say anything by that. I'm just saying.
But the rules worked pretty good, except we do have to tweak certain things which we weren't sure of.
Yeah.
And I was able you were confused enough that I was able to just roll right over that and
Yeah,
say
yeah,
whatever I
whatever.
wanted.
I'm sure poker started out the same way.
Yeah. The good news is there's not an ugly baby really in the sun card, but there's 2 ugly people, but the sun is ugly. Like, the sun is ugly. I don't know. I shouldn't be this way. I know this is the favorite deck of many people, and I should be nicer. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But
Made
it was fun.
Made a fun game.
It was fun. It was just fun hanging out with you today and not working. We
Yeah.
weren't working. And on the better news, we had a little bit of rain today.
Yay.
Can't even believe it.
Not
Little
much,
bit of
but
rain.
the first one in a couple of 100 days, I guess. So.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks for watching today. If we were able to keep any of you throughout this video, I'll be very surprised. But that's okay. I said promise 30 days. I didn't promise 30 really great days. So anyway, it was still fun. We had fun too. We had fun.
Yeah.
We had fun.
I
Okay.
had a lovely afternoon.
Me too. Thank you very much,
Let's
Joe.
do it again.
Thank you. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Wish you blessings.